What up and welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm your host, Ron Bone. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 151 in the motherfucking high. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcasting app. Much love. Shout out to everybody. Hope everybody's doing safe or staying safe, doing good, all that good shit. Much love. And I apologize that the podcast is a day late. It is a day late. And yeah, I don't know what to say other than I apologize for any inconvenience. But trust me when I say the inconvenience for me was tremendous. This is my third time recording it. The first two times made it 40 minutes in and it crashed. Couldn't save the video, nothing. So we're on try number 3 right now. I got a new camera last week. I think my settings are fucked up on my computer, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to try to figure it out, try to get better quality visuals for the YouTube version of the podcast. And yeah, thank you for bearing with me. Much fucking love. The support is super appreciated. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress how much I appreciate all the support, all the views, all the likes, comments, all that shit. Thank you very much. And I want to send a shout out. Last week, we got a donation from Scott Matthews. He said, "Still the man. Thanks again for all your hard work, fam. Be blessed." Much love, Scott. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to anybody that has donated into the podcast. Past, present, and future. It all goes to benefit the show and help improve the show, get better all around. So much love. Super appreciated. And yeah, let's fucking get into it. This week, we got a bunch of shit to talk about this week, so let's fucking stop wasting any time. Ouija Mac put out a new video last week for Ain't No Savior off his Dirtbag project that is up on YouTube now. Go peep the shit. The video is dope. I even asked the question on my social medias a couple days ago asking, is Ouija Mac putting out the best videos in the underground right now? Me personally, I have to say yes. This dude is absolutely killing it with the videos. Has been killing it. Going back to the Swagtooth days, like always putting out quality videos. And this Ain't No Savior video is no different. The video is super dope, high quality. Song is dope. And it got me to thinking, I got to revisit the Dirtbag album. That album kind of fell under the radar for me. I did listen to it when it came out. I covered it on the podcast when it came out, but I only listened to it maybe a handful of times. I haven't really gone back to it much. And I'm a big Ouija fan. I fucks with Ouija. Dude killed it last year, dropped like 4 projects last year. He's a little bit slower with dropping music this year, which is kind of good, let those other projects breathe for a little bit. But he did drop Dirtbag. And I remember when, going back, when I first listened to it, thinking, this is some of the best shit he's put out. And I think dude just keeps elevating, getting better and better. I think Wasteland is his best project, but I got to revisit this Dirtbag album. But the video for Ain't No Savior is fire, and the song is dope. If you haven't peeped it, check the shit out. And yeah, peep that Dirtbag album like I'm going to do. I got to revisit it. But yeah, so go peep that shit. And we'll keep it, psychopathic related. Shaggy and the Creep Show, the Palcast. Last week had Stevo from Jackass on there. I thought this was notable. Jackass, Stevo, the Jackass. He hosted one of the nights at the gathering this year. I believe it was the first night he hosted, and they interviewed him while he was at the gathering. They did an interview with Stevo. Haven't got a chance to watch it. I kind of fell off with the Shaggy and the Creep Palcast the last probably month and a half. Haven't been keeping up to it, but They do put out an entertaining show. It's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to listen to. I'll peep this out probably sometime this week. Just haven't got a chance to do it yet, but I thought it was notable that Stevo from Jackass was on the show. And they have been getting their clips played on Your Mom's House podcast, which is a pretty popular podcast. Tom Segura and Christina P. I think this is the first guest they've had on the Palcast outside of like homies, outside of like, psychopathic related homies. I'd like to see them get more guests on the Palcast. I think that shit would be dope. But Stevo from Jackass is up on last week's episode of the Palcast. Go peep that shit if you get a chance. And keeping it psychopathic, ICP related, Violent J's Walking Home Monday single is officially available through the Psychopathic Vault website. You can purchase that shit now for a cool $117. You can get yourself a backpack, a hat, a comic book, and the CD single itself. So this is going to be the most expensive EP ever. By the time everything is all said and done, $117 per single, and then he's going to drop the EP at the very end with Saturday and Sunday on it. So yeah, it's going to be expensive as fuck in the long run, but we'll eventually get a full-length project. And the first single, The Walking Home Monday, is up on YouTube. I don't know if this will ever be released digitally as far as Apple Music, Spotify, anything of that nature goes, but it is up on YouTube right now. A few people uploaded it. I listened to the track, and for the intro track for the Walking Home EP, it's not a bad track. Just keeping it all the way real. Not a bad track. Now, the beat is fire. The chorus is super dope. Super catchy hook. I think ICP is kind of slept on and underrated as far as their hook game goes. But the hook on this shit is super catchy. I be catching myself singing this hook all the time. Now, the verses, the storytelling is there from Violent J. One of the best storytellers in hip-hop, period, in my personal opinion. But I don't know if it's his voice or the flow, whatever I don't know, but it's just, he doesn't deliver on the verses for me. Storytelling is there, but it's either the flow or his voice. I think I'm leaning more towards that it's his voice that throws me off on the verses on this song. But like I said, the beat is fire. The chorus is super dope. I think in the long run, once we have the full-length EP, maybe, once it blends into the, second song, Tuesday, and then into Wednesday and all that shit, it's hard to really gauge where this EP is going to go because he's only going to be releasing a song every few months. Like Tuesday will be out in 3 to 4 months, and then Wednesday, Thursday, so on and so forth. It's going to be well over a year before we get this full EP. So, yeah, it's going to be a while. I don't think I'm going to listen to any of the other singles, any of the other days, I guess you could say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to listen to any more after this, and I'm just going to wait for the EP. I'll cover it on the podcast. I'll cover it on my social medias as they drop and get released, of course. But yeah, not a bad song. But, Violent J compared, or not even compared, he said he wants this Walking Home EP to be better than the Wizard of the Hood EP. Now, he might have put his foot in his mouth by doing that because if you compare opening tracks, if you compare Walking Home Monday to Let It Rain off the Wizard of the Hood EP, to me personally, Let It Rain wins that shit easily. Like, that's such a dope way to open up that EP. And just a banger of a track. And, such a classic, iconic piece of work from Violent J. Twiztid, Blaze, Shaggy, they were all a part of that shit. I kind of wish he didn't say that because I wasn't going to compare it to anything. I was just going to take it for what it is. And I think I'm still going to do that. I don't think I'm going to compare this to Wizard of the Hood. Now, naturally, the comparisons are going to be there. Even if he didn't say that, I think there would be comparisons, but I try not to compare new shit with old shit. I've said it before. We went through it with Fearless Fred Fury and all that shit, new Twiztid shit, whatever. I try not to compare the new to the old. I try to take it for what it is. But Walking Home Monday is up on YouTube. You could buy the shit on the Psychopathic Vault website for a smooth $117. Shout out to Violent J for the smooth ass fucking hustle on that shit. A lot of people love doing the exclusive shit, charging a fucking nice little fee to get the shit. But yeah, you could cop that shit. And, last week's episode of the podcast was my biggest episode, first week numbers, period. And I just want to thank everybody that tuned in to last week's episode, first week. Numbers were through the roof. Super appreciated. Kind of expected because of the news that was dropped at the gathering. Hope Violent J's doing all right. And speaking of hoping Violent J's doing all right, we got an official word from Billy Obey of Alla Zululu. I thought this was a super classy move. Super, respect to Billy Obey from Zul. He took to Facebook. He wrote, I know this is going to be an unpopular status because if you're M&E or psychopathic, you have to automatically hate on the quote-unquote other side. He goes on to say, hearing that Violent J is having heart issues for real saddens me. Regardless of whatever, none of us would be where we are if it wasn't for that man. I'll never forget the magic I felt growing up listening to Psychopathic, as it's the same exact magic that now walks with Zul. Facts. I hope Jay can conquer his demons. Either way, this is me saying I'm thankful for everything he has done for my existence on this dirtball. Juggalo for life, Zuligan for eternity. Hashtag fuck your beef. And this dude's spitting fucking facts right here. Facts. No cap. All that shit. This dude is spitting the fucking truth right here. Shout out to Billy Obey for this shit because it is going to be, and it is an unpopular opinion to say that shit. He's signed to Magic Ninja. If you're, people would probably assume if you're signed to Magic Ninja or whatever, you're affiliated with M&E, you got to automatically hate Psychopathic, vice versa. If you're on Psychopathic, you automatically have to hate M&E, Twiztid, all that shit. And it's just not the case. And it goes for the fans as well. If you like Psychopathic and you like M&E at the same time, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. You can like both at the same time. It just is what it is. I've been fucking preaching it forever on this very damn podcast. You can listen to both. You don't have to hate one or the other. Like if you liked both and you took a side once the beef became public, then, you're missing out. You're the one that's ultimately missing out. Music, merch, tours, all that shit. I try to keep it 50-50 down the middle. And yeah, I see this as, you see the headline right there. If you're watching on YouTube, Peace Beneath the Streets, it's the name of the episode. I see Billy Obey throwing up the peace sign like, hey, maybe we, offering a little bit of a peace treaty here. With the news of Violent J having heart problems last week, I saw a lot of people on social media, YouTube, and, whatnot saying this would be the time for the beef to end. Publicly for this beef to end. And I agree. Like right now is the time to do it. Right now is the time to do it before something happens, before somebody dies. Not saying Violent J is going to die, but just in general, crazy shit happens all the time. Before anything fucking crazy happens, I can only hope that they can mend the friendship, end the beef, and bring that magic back to what it once was. You know, um, I'm kind of surprised that Twiztid didn't say anything at their seminar last week about it. I'm kind of surprised they didn't address it. And but not at the same time, But I'm trying to think here. Like, I wish they would have addressed it. I still hope they do address it at some point. But maybe the beef really fractured the relationship that bad where it's non-repairable. Like, it can't be repaired. And maybe it's just is what it is at this point. I would like to hope and think that is not the case, and that it still can be fixed, and all that good shit. A lot of people online are saying they want another, this would be the time to end it. Give us another Dark Lotus album or an ICP collaboration, or have Twiztid and Blaze join ICP on the farewell tour. Now, I would love to see all that shit as well, but I don't think it's necessary. I think just to end the beef and end all the bullshit and truly have peace beneath the streets would be where it's at. Even if we never got another Dark Lotus album or a collab. Would I like that shit? Of course I would. But even if we never got that shit, I'd be okay with it, knowing that the beef is over. Another thing a lot of people are saying, and I think it's true, is a lot of the shit is the people on the internet, people on fucking social media talking shit. A lot of ninjas was saying they saw a lot of people wearing Twiztid shirts, M&E shirts, Zool shirts at the gathering this year, and nobody was giving shit, no fights, no shit like that. And I think that's the truth, because I think the internet is going to internet, and the internet will do what the internet does, and that is talking shit. Because when you're behind a keyboard, these motherfuckers tend to feel a little bit safe. I'm fully aware of what the fuck I do, and there could be repercussions for the shit that I say, even though I try not to be disrespectful to the person. I fully understand and prepare myself and know that there could be some sort of repercussions or whatever for whatever I say on the podcast, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever the fuck. I'm fully aware of that shit, and I'm ready for it. But a lot of these motherfuckers don't. They live behind default profile pictures and all that shit. So I do believe most of this bullshit is an online thing, and it doesn't really happen in person like that. But I think for it to end just all around is to publicly end the beef somehow, some way. I don't know who, how, where, when. I can only hope that somebody will do something to have, peace beneath the streets. I think it's gone on too fucking long at this point, and it was all one big family at one point, Twiztid repped fucking psychopathic really fucking hard back in the day. Think about it, the most tasteless, freak show, mirror, mirror, all that shit back in the day. They were even dons at one point back in the day. And that gets me thinking, like, subliminals would have to stop in music. There's fucking crazy subliminals all the time in the music, both sides. Sometimes not so subliminal. The fuck? Abominable snowman? No. Subliminal disses in the music. So There has been name calling, names dropped on record, and videos and all that shit. Fucking Q&As and interviews and a whole bunch of shit. You know, it's one thing to maybe end it behind the scenes, but you got to do it for the fucking fans, the juggalos, ninjas, all that shit. So yeah, shout out to Billy Obey for posting this shit, saying this shit. I think it's a step in the right direction, and I hope other people follow suit. I really do. Get past your ego and remember the good times. Don't forget the bad times. Like, you can't ever forget the bad times. Not, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody what to do. I'm just going to sit here and say, I hope we can get past this shit at some point. And shout out to Billy Obey for doing what he did, posting this up on Facebook last week. Super dope and just a step in the right direction, like I said. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I'm good leaving it at that. But in more Zool news, last week they dropped a fucking brand new mask. They dropped I think this is the second version of the Dawn of the Dead. The first one was a purple one, which was fire. Super dope. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. But they dropped this new Dawn of the Dead mask. Kind of reminds me of some like Day of the Dead type shit. This mask is fucking fire too. Probably sold out at this point. I know it was available like the next day after it went on sale. It seems like if it's not a forever face, it doesn't sell out like in 7 seconds or 17 seconds. And it'll last maybe fucking 24 hours. But it's probably sold out at this point. But, did you secure an order for this Dawn of the Dead mask? This is probably the second best face behind the forever face, if you ask me. They got the forever face, the Dawn of the Dead face, the Friday the 13th, the Dweller, and then the Jovid mask. I think the Dawn of the Dead mask is the second best mask behind the forever face. I think the forever face is always just going to be like that shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit. So yeah. New Dawn of the Dead mask was released last week. Probably sold out, which means you're probably assed out. So yeah. But keeping it fucking evil. Long live evil. We got a new single from the super famous Fun Time Guys this past Friday, featuring Donnie Menace. The song's called Your Wife's a Hoe. And that's probably facts. Your wife's probably a fucking hoe, dude. Your wife is probably a hoe. But the song is out. It's available digitally anywhere. And Donnie Menace is fucking slept on. And this dude is a fucking monster. Now, the song's called Your Wife's a Hoe. Funny, comedic track. But Donnie Menace fucking kills it on here. I've been following Donnie Menace since The Threat. Since like the horrorcore.com, the horrorcore forum days, fucking MySpace days, all that shit. I've been following Donnie Menace for a good minute. And he kills it on the track. I highly recommend, if you haven't listened to any of Donnie Menace's shit, look him up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Dude is just a beast. One of the better rappers easily in this wicked underground scene. Dude raps his ass off. Multi-syllables, all that good shit. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's on LSP right now, Lyrical Snuff Productions. And go peep the shit. Super famous Fun Time Guys featuring Donnie Menace. Your Wife's a Hoe. Available digitally everywhere. So go peep that shit, shun. Yeah. And then we got fucking, speaking of Donnie Menace, Gorefest. Gorefest is going down in shit. A week and a half. I haven't covered this yet. I don't even know if this was just announced, but I saw the flyer for it this past weekend. September 10th through the 12th. A 3-day pass will run you $30. Not bad. $10 a day. And then a 1-day pass will be $20. Not bad. And if you're coming from out of state or military, you will have free entry. It says free entry with valid military or out of state ID. Shout out to Scum and LSP for doing that every year for Gorefest. Gorefest has been going down for years. long ass time. And glad to see it back this year. Pretty sure it didn't go down last year because the whole fucking shit we're going through out here. But notable performances this year at Gorefest would be Cody Manson, Donnie Menace, Esham, Insane Poetry, Lex the Hexmaster, Mastermind, Triple MFD, Scum, and Smalls 1. So, Gorefest, they usually pull some dope names. They pulled some dope names this year, especially with Esham and Mastermind. I never got to see Mastermind live. I would love to see Mastermind live. That shit would be super dope to see. I have seen Esham a few times live, and he does kill it live. Especially the last couple times I've seen it, and the last few times I've heard people say they've seen him live. So Esham killing it. Hopefully at Gorefest, and everybody else that is performing at Gorefest as well. And if you're going, have a fucking good trip, stay safe, all that good shit. If any news pops off, I'll be fucking sure to cover it here at the Beneath the Dirt podcast. So yeah, Gorefest, September 10th through the 12th, 30 days. $30 for the 3-day pass, free entry if you're out of state or military. Super dope. Again, shout out to Scum for that shit. So yeah, Gorefest is the shit. And, speaking of festivals, Magic Ninja has their own little mini festival that they do. It's, it's a show they do every year. Attack of the Ninjas. You may have heard of it. You may have not. But this year they had the Attack of the Ninjas show featuring every artist from Magic Ninja Entertainment and the Welcome to the Underground sub-label. And if you were in attendance at the show, you got a free copy of the Attack of the Ninjas, the album. And it has been uploaded to YouTube. And shout out to Robbie from the @Twiztid History Instagram page for hooking me up with a download link so I could finally get it. I do have a copy incoming, but the post office fucking sucks. And yeah. Still waiting for my copy to come in, but yeah, I did get the download of it. I did get to listen to it. The one good thing of me having to record this podcast on 2 separate days, after all the technical difficulties and all the fuck ups, is I really get to dive into the Attack of the Ninjas album today. Monday, I'm recording this podcast. It's 10:30 at night right now. I should be in bed at this point. But anyway. I was on the road all day for fucking work, and I listened to this album, I think 4 times today. I listened to it once yesterday, and I gave a review for it yesterday after only 1 listen, but after hearing it 4 times, or 4 or 5 times now, I've really got to kind of digest it a little bit. I still got more digesting to do, but I got a good taste for it, and this album is fucking fire. This Attack of the Ninjas album is super dope, man. Last week we were saying it's kind of like a Year of the Sword Part 2. And in a sense it kind of is, just because it's a showcase of the record label. Even though you got features on here from Buckshot and Crucifix, who are not, technically on Magic Ninja Entertainment, but, very closely affiliated. And this album is a fucking banger, man. I love the Year of the Sword album, but this one might be better. It's really a good listen. It is up on YouTube. You could probably find a fucking link somewhere if you fucking ask somebody. I'm sure somebody got you on it. But definitely worth the listen. Some of the standout tracks on here. The very first track, Oh the Horror and Twiztid. The song is called Are You Scared? Is fire. I did listen to this one before I got a download for it, because once I saw that Oh the Horror and Twiztid were on a song together, I wanted to hear the direction that they took the song in. And if you have heard Oh the Horror's newest album, 1692, there's a lot more singing on it and that kind of stuff. And that's what this song is right here. And this song is fire. Great way to open this album, in my personal opinion. Such a dope fucking track from All the Horror. And I want to see those guys live. Want to see them. Next time, if they ever come to my area, I'm definitely going to peep them live, see what they're like live. But I like that track. Another standout track would be Horror, Buckshot featuring, I'm sorry. I've done this. This is my fucking third time recording the show, right? I think I said, or fourth time. I don't even remember at this point. But I always fucking mix up Buckshot and Boondocks's name. Why the fuck do I do that? I do that every time. But it's Boondocks featuring Buckshot, Jamie Madrox, and Mr. Gray. This song is fire. Love that track. Super dope. Another standout would be Space Between Us, brand new Zodiac imprint. Blaze and ROC have been teasing on social media for months that they are working on new Zodiac imprint, and this is the first taste we're getting right here. And this song is better than anything off that Ride the Stars EP. To me, that EP was kind of a disappointment, but this song right here is fire. Super dope. First time I listened to it, and the review that I gave it when I first recorded this podcast was, I don't know how I feel about the hook, because Blaze is kind of like singing on the hook, but after hearing it 4 or 5 times, Blaze fucking kills the hook on here. Super dope, in my opinion. I love this track. Another standout. And then probably my favorite song on this album is Boo Hoo, Lex the Hexmaster featuring Red, ROC, and Gibby Stites. This is the type of production we need Lex the Hexmaster on, man. That boom bap shit. I've been saying it. He sounds so good over this shit. You know, this dude from New York, he has that style. He needs that boom bap shit. And this track is fucking fire, man. Super dope. All around, this album is really good, not to be slept on. And I hope they make it available digitally. It doesn't make sense to only have this as a collector's item available on CD for the show. It could still be that, and it is that. But I'm hoping that they'll put it up digitally, because this should be heard and should be available just everywhere and readily, easily for everybody to access it, because this shit is fire, man. Super dope. One thing I took away from this, and I think he only had 2 features on this album, maybe 3, but it's Rapper Red. He only had a couple features on here, but his couple features that were on here, he fucking stole the show on the songs that he was on. This dude raps his ass off. Now, we covered his last couple singles on the podcast. Delayed Flights, which was his most recent one. More radio-friendly, mainstream sounding type stuff. Didn't really dig that kind of vibe. But the single before that, Detonate, was like some hardcore rap shit. And dude killed it. And he killed it on this album right here. This dude is super dope. So I know that he dropped Symphony of Sympathy, I believe it was called, last year. Yeah, Symphony of Sympathy last year. And I never listened to it. I never checked it out. I, to be honest, didn't really have any interest in checking it out. I did hear good reviews for it from some people saying this dude was super talented. So while I was on the road today, in between listening to this Attack of the Ninjas album and the new James Garcia project, which we'll talk about here in a minute, I checked out some of the Symphony of Sympathy from Red. Now, the music on here isn't necessarily my type of style, and not necessarily the Juggalo style of music. And maybe that's why this dude ain't getting over, but goddamn. Pretty much, I listened to half of Rapper Red's album, and I could damn near hear every song that I heard, like, every song that I listened to, I could hear on the fucking radio. Like, this dude has that mainstream sound, that appeal. Like, this dude sings, raps, all that shit. Like, I had no fucking idea until today. And this dude is super talented, man. And just, again, not my style necessarily, But I can acknowledge dude is super talented. He kills it on the Attack of the Ninjas album, fucking rapping his ass off. Super dope. And yeah, pretty much everybody brought it on this album, man. And fucking killed it, you know? I'd say it's like Year of the Sword with a lot less Twiztid. You know, Monoxide's only on 3 tracks on here, including the Cabal remix at the end. You know, Jamie Madrox is all over this shit on a bunch of these tracks as well. But, you know, just super dope. Peep it. Try to get a download link. I don't have a link for you. I'm sorry. But, yeah. Peep the album because it's super dope. It is on YouTube, like I said. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they release that shit on Apple Music, Spotify, all that good shit. Because I think it deserves it. The album is fucking just, it's good. I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's a fire fucking album, man. Super dope. But, you know, I just brought it up a minute ago. James Garcia, formerly known as Young Wicked, dropped his newest project called Activated. It's up, available everywhere. Physicals available as well. I got my CD copy. I like that they took the James Garcia logo off the album artwork for the digital release. And it only says Activated because that logo just ain't it. Need a new logo. But anyway, it all boils down to what the fucking music sounds like. This dude didn't even release a single for this project. He did release a couple singles maybe last year, the year before that, that were supposed to be for the Young Wicked mixtape volume 2, but he ended up doing a fucking rebrand, and we get this Activated project under the name James Garcia. He even in the intro of the album, he talks about, you know, he goes by many names, but, you know, trying to find his, you know, I don't want to say true identity, but his real self when in fact it's been with him all along, you know. He's going by his fucking government name now, James Garcia. And, you know, when I recorded yesterday's podcast, I had listened to the album 3 times. And first time I listened to it, I didn't like it. Second time I listened to it, I liked it. Third time I listened to it, I shut it off halfway through. But I got the chance today, because the podcast was delayed, to listen to the album a few more times. And I think the verdict for this album is that it's a dope album. I still kind of flip-flop back and forth, but I think at this point it's only certain songs that I'm kind of iffy on. But overall, this is a solid project from James Garcia, formerly known as Young Wicked. It's really hard for me not to call him Young Wicked. But this shit sounds drastically different than anything that he's done before. If you're expecting this to sound like anything that he did off Slaughter or Return of the Prodigal Son, you're probably going to be disappointed. There's a lot of auto-tune on here. A lot more mainstream sounding type shit on here. But this dude's rapping his ass off. Not really singing his ass off, but he's got some harmonizing on here. Overall, this project is pretty dope. It's a short listen, 12 tracks, 32 minutes. Short listen, but I think, you know, in the end, this is a dope project. It'll probably go down, you know, so far as my least favorite project from him. You know, just Slaughter and Return of the Prodigal Son are so good. So good. But I get he's going in a different direction, different type of sounds. He wants to be bigger. He wants more ears on him. And you got to fucking play the game to win the game. As much as I'll miss the wicked shit and, you know, the shit that he was doing before, not even he wasn't even really doing that much wicked shit, especially on Return of the Prodigal Son. There was a lot of personal shit on there. And I hope going forward with the James Garcia shit that we kind of stick with that, because there's really maybe one or two tracks on here, Satellite and Feel Alright. Maybe one or two more where it's really some personal shit. My favorite track on here is probably Satellite. I love that shit. Super dope, very catchy, and he kills it. But I like when he's on that personal shit. I like that type of music from certain artists, and I feel like Young Wicked is really good at delivering that kind of shit that you can relate to. You know what I mean? And there are a few tracks on here where you got some you can relate to type shit on here. But peep the shit. If you're a fan of Young Wicked, the response I've seen online has been kind of 50-50 for it. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it. I think it's dope. I did flip-flop on it the first few listens, but I think at this point, it's a fucking dope album, and I can appreciate it for what it is. My least favorite project from him. But yeah, peep the shit, and I'm definitely looking forward to more Young Wicked, James Garcia in the future. Is A&B still going to be a fucking thing? Axe Murder Boys, is that over with? They do have a song on the Attack of the Ninjas album, so maybe not. Maybe that shit ain't over with. Who the fuck knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But peep that shit. It's available everywhere. And yeah. Let's fucking keep it going with M&E shit. Twiztid, the rock band? Yeah. I saw Chuck Reeves post this on Instagram the other day. It was a screenshot of Derek Nito Burrito Obscura posting the flyer for Twiztid Live in Concert this October, which we've covered on the show, saying, surprise, I will also be with the demented duo Twiztid this October as well. I looked this dude up, went to his profile. He's a guitar player. He plays for a bunch of different bands. I saw Stir Crazy online saying that he was actually the guitarist for Twiztid when they were touring with a full band before with Twiztid and the Wickedness. So this dude ain't necessarily a new member, but I guess for all intents and purposes, he kind of is with this new shit. I got to assume that this little mini tour that they're doing in October is going to be in support of the Unlikely Prescription album, which drops next week. And they'll be playing a lot of the rock shit, new and old, with the band. Will there be other band members with them? We know Draven will be there, the drummer. So we got the guitarist now. Is Twiztid just going to dump the fucking rap shit and just become a full-on band? I mean, they're already talking their next album is going to be produced by Zeus, producer for Rob Zombie, Queensryche, Suicide Silence. So, I've kind of thrown the speculation / theory out there that, hey, Twiztid might be just going in this rock direction, even though they say they'll do whatever the fuck they want, and which is pretty much true. They've done whatever the fuck they want with their projects. They come with some left field shit all the time, but looks like they're going to be sticking with this rock shit, at least for the near future. And they're going to be possibly having a full band with them on this tour, and I even commented on the post on that Chuck Reeve posted saying, why don't they just bring fucking Oh the Horror on the road with them? They don't have a drummer. They got the two guitarists. Jonathan Hellhouse would be kind of asked out. He's the lead vocalist for Oh the Horror. Maybe he could provide backing vocals, or maybe he plays an instrument and he could pick up something and fucking play it. I don't know. But why not just bring fucking Oh the Horror out? You got a fucking band signed to the label. Bring them out on the road with you. But I guess they weren't thinking of that or didn't think of it. Oh the Horror, I'm sure they could fucking learn, or they probably already know how to play, considering they're signed to the label. But yeah, curious to see what the fuck Twiztid's gonna bring to us in the fucking future. with all this rock shit. And yeah. So Twiztid October with possibly with a full rock band. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. They're not coming anywhere close to my area. The closest show they're coming to is Philadelphia, I think, or maybe Rochester, New York. I don't know how close Rochester is to where I am, but I got to assume it's at least a fucking 3-hour drive. So, yeah. Full rock band, I don't fucking know, but Twiztid's going hard with this rock shit. And speaking of Unlikely Prescription, we've got a few variants of the CD. You can go to Newberry Comics website and pre-order an autographed copy of Unlikely Prescription. Limited, of course, but Newberry Comics has the limited edition, autographed edition of Unlikely Prescription. And Jamie Madrox posted this on his personal page. And I actually, I forget how I discovered this, but I was on the Bull Moose website, local record store to my area, and saw that there's a CD long box version of Unlikely Prescription. Who the fuck remembers CD long boxes? I haven't seen a CD long box since fucking 1693. Actually, 1692, I'm sorry. It's been a long ass fucking time since I've seen a CD long box version, but the shit is dope. I got my pre-order in, limited to 500, available exclusively available to record stores only. So yeah, they got a whole bunch of shit. We talked about the die cut vinyl as well, featuring the Rose Petal single that is available as part of this whole Unlikely Prescription fucking album. So yeah, fucking Twiztid really going all out for this album. Easily the hardest they've ever promoted some shit, the hardest they've ever just the hardest they've ever fucking really trying to fucking push their shit to a new audience with this Unlikely Prescription album. They did that with Generation Nightmare 2, but they're definitely going harder with this shit. They got all the rock features on the album. So, like I said, I'm not necessarily looking forward to the album. I'm, still got it. Shit, I got the CD vinyl, 2 CDs and a vinyl pre-ordered. So, still supporting the shit because I just support fucking what Twiztid does. And, yeah. Pre-order all that shit. Pre-order it or don't, whatever. But more not so new music that we got last week. We got the re-release of Cottonmouth King's Kingdom Come album, available digitally everywhere. Wasn't available digitally for a while now, but Suburban Noise Records did retain the rights to the album and released it. We talked about it before. They're giving it away for free with the Saint Dog Lost Chronicles bundle, or you could just pre-order the CD itself from Suburban Noise, which will be available in October. But I thought it was noteworthy that it did drop digitally this past Friday. And I like this album, man. It's the last time we're ever going to hear Johnny Richter, Saint Dog, and D-Loc on songs again. You rest in peace to Saint. And yeah, I do like this album. It was kind of 50-50 on what people thought of it. I thought this was the best Cottonmouth Kings release in a long time. My personal opinion. So yeah, peep that shit. It is available digitally everywhere. And speaking of Cottonmouth Kings, good old fucking the delusional one, D-Loc, took to Instagram, posted up a video of him talking about all this shit that he's doing is really just sounds like he's trying to convince people to continue to follow Cottonmouth Kings and what he's doing with Cottonmouth Kings. Because at this point, as we all know, Cottonmouth Kings is just fucking D-Loc. And he did make some good points in his IG video. A couple of the points that he made was, the shit, we do get royalty checks from all the old records, but if you don't put out anything new and keep the name refreshed in the minds of people, they're not gonna go back as much and listen to the old shit for you to continue to get those royalty checks. And I thought that was a good point. Made fucking sense to me. But immediately my brain goes to yes, but you don't have to do it the way you're doing it. This is a, glorified Deluxe solo project at this point using the Cottonmouth King's name. But, kind of is what it is. Another point that he made and continues to make, it's not the first time he's made the point of, he's put blood, sweat, and tears into this shit and he just doesn't want it to let it die. And I fucking understand that shit. I do understand that shit because I could have just as easily said, fuck this week's episode of the podcast and not have done it because of all the fucking headaches and all the bullshit I had to go through to record it. So, to bring it back to me, I can relate to it maybe just a little tiny bit, but I get it. You don't want to let something die that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. And I understand, but there's a better way to go about it, man. There just is. And I'm not going to fucking rehash it. I've talked about it before. Go listen to the Delusional episode. Go listen to any of the Cottonmouth Kings episodes that I've done on the Beneath the Dirt podcast, where I really break it down. But he does make good points for himself. But as a fan and as other fans that I've seen online say, this just isn't it. This just isn't it, fam. It's just, there's a better way to do it. But Cottonmouth King's Kingdom Come is available digitally everywhere. We got the new King Click album dropping. The Saint Dog Lost Chronicle shit, like Suburban Noise is back, cranking shit out. Head PE just dropped some new shit. They just signed another new act. I don't remember the name, and I meant to grab a screenshot for the show. You figure after fucking 3 attempts, I would have got it right, but I didn't. And I forgot, they signed up Dropout Kings as well. So Subnoise, steady cranking shit out for 2021 and fucking beyond, man. They really are. And let's get into some fucking strange music news. Strange Music put out a fucking statement in regards to Tech Nine's Strange New World 2021 tour going down this fall with Ritz. They put up this important update. They say, we are making this important announcement based on information and concerns we've received from venues and promoters on Tech Nine's upcoming Strange New World Tour 2021. If you plan on attending any dates on the tour, it's important that you contact your local venue to confirm any applicable vaccination requirements in consideration of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Many venues and promotion companies are implementing policies that require attendees to provide proof of vaccination or, in some cases, a negative COVID test within their specified window of time before you're allowed to enter the venue and attend an event. It is important that you check with the venue to ensure that you're in compliance with their policies before attending the show. We appreciate your understanding in this matter. I'm not going to dive into it. You either get fucking poked or provide paperwork, or you're not going to go to a concert this fall. I'm seeing this with tours. This isn't just Strange Music. This is with tours in general. Bring your paperwork if you are planning on going to an event, a venue with a bunch of people, just in case. They might be checking or looking for some sort of paperwork. I posted this, and a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot, but some people took it down that conspiracy theory route, that political route. I'm not going to do it. I'm just reporting the fucking news here, and I'm going to leave it at that. So either have your paperwork ready or don't go to a show. It just seems as simple as that. But in other strange music news, we got a new single from Maze 301. He dropped a new single this past Friday called Ecstasy. Haven't got a chance to listen to it because I've been bumping that Attack of the Ninjas project fucking like crazy and that new James Garcia shit like crazy. But that shit is out right now. We got new Joey Cool. His new album is finally out. I Tried to Be Normal once, full length. That's out digitally as well. Didn't listen to it, but it is available. And then we got a little bit of news from Jerry Robinson. He's holding a contest for his new album. The name is not important. It's a pre-order contest. You can win a t-shirt, a bandana, a koozie, a 20-ounce water bottle, and a silver logo wall flag. 10 winners will be randomly selected, plus 2 grand prize winners will receive an FBA shirt and a Skype call from Jerry Robinson. All you have to do is pre-order his album. Now, I got to imagine if they're running that contest, pre-order numbers must be looking low for Mr. Robinson. And that's why they're running this, because I don't think they've ever run a contest like this before. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this from Strange before. So, yeah. If you pre-order Jerry Robinson's shit, you're automatically entered into this contest. And if you've already got your pre-order in, you're already fucking in the contest. So, yeah. And let's keep it with, Strange affiliated, former Strange music artists. They're just leaving the label fucking left and right these days. Chris Calico's not on the label anymore. Got the boot from the label for ripping people off for verses. Same thing happened to JL of B Hood. It seemed like he got the boot from the label as well. And I meant to cover this on last week's podcast, but didn't. UBI of Seth's Crew is the next Strange music artist to leave the label. He's no longer on Strange Music. He confirmed it. He's got a new single dropping this Friday. YKTG. I think it stands for You Know the Game. And I saw him comment or reply to a fan saying something along the lines, either his departure from Strange will be addressed either on this single or within some music that he has incoming. So, Ubiquitous, UBI, now formerly of Strange Music, chalk it up to another one formerly of Strange, but he's got his new single dropping Friday, video to soon follow, and it's just fucking crazy, man. Crazy, man. And speaking of former artists, Stevie Stone has a new single dropping this Friday as well. That's another one I forgot to mention his name. He has a new single, Reputation, dropping this Friday. I believe this will be his third single since leaving the label, and it'll be available digitally everywhere, I got to assume. And yeah, it's just Strange music does not feel like Strange music anymore. No Seth's Crew, no Stevie Stone. We could take it back to Cut Calhoun, Scatterman and Snug Brim, Ritz, Brother Lynch, Chris Calico. Like, Strange music, it just ain't what it used to be. It just doesn't feel like Strange music anymore. Outside of Tech 9 and maybe Mayday, I don't know, man. I mean, who else is on the label? Tech, Mayday, Jerry Robinson, Mackenzie Nicole, Joey Cool. I don't know. Is that it? Is there anybody else on the label I'm missing? I don't think so. Could be wrong. But yeah, Strange just isn't what it fucking is anymore, man. And it's crazy and kind of sad to see, unfortunately. But yeah, let's keep it moving. We got a new Dizzy Wright album coming. New Dizzy Wright dropping The album is called Slippin' and Glidin'. It's actually an 8-song EP. Drops September 10th, a week and a half from now. Pre-orders and a new music video will be available shortly. No features, just real music. And yeah, that's what he posted up on his shit. You know, I fucks with Dizzy Wright. I fucks with his movement. You know, going back to the Funk Volume days. You know, they were like the next label up in line, if you ask me. Like the next Strange Music. The next independent powerhouse. But, you know, we all know how that fucking story ended. But new Dizzy Wright dropping September 10th. Sliding and gliding. No features. Just Dizzy. So that's dope. And then a couple more things before we bounce the fuck up out of here. We got a little bit of Griselda news. Westside Gunn dropped Hitler Wears Hermes 8 side A this past Friday. I believe side B, I saw someone post saying it'll be dropping on Halloween. So that is out now. I'm a big Griselda fan. I love Conway, love Benny. Not the biggest Westside fan. I do tend to like his older shit more than his newer stuff, but I support Griselda in general. They're not really underground at this point, you know, maybe borderline, but I'm still going to cover them on the show. Westside Gunn, Hitler Wears Hermes 8, available now everywhere. And then another artist I fuck with heavy, an artist I got into last year was Flea Lord. And he dropped a new project called Delgado, produced entirely by Rock Marciano. It's available everywhere. If you've listened to Flea Lord based on any of my recommendations before, then you already know. But if you don't know, peep the shit. It's not my favorite shit that he's done since I've started listening to him. My biggest complaint about the album is the lack of drums on the beats. It seemed like half the album didn't even have drums. You know, I know that's the fucking thing. All these rappers are doing it, not rapping over beats that have drums and shit, but I love the fucking drum. I love drums, man. I just do. And this album is lacking that, but if there's one thing I could take away from the album is Flea Lord is leveling up lyrically and delivery-wise. Like, dude is rapping his ass off on this EP. If you can get past the lack of drums and you just like good lyricism and good rapping, Flea Lord is fucking killing it on this EP without a doubt. So peep that shit. If you've checked him out based on my recommendations before, then you already fucking know. But if not, go peep the shit or go peep any of his older shit. Peep The People's Champ or Hand Me My Flowers, two of my personal favorites that Flea Lord has done in the past. And yeah, we fucking made it. We are at the end of the episode. I hope the video isn't skipping or anything like that. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope that didn't happen. I hope I didn't, lose any frames or anything like that. But I was able to record the whole fucking podcast. And it didn't fucking crash on me. We are at the fucking end. Thank you for bearing with me through the technical difficulties. I apologize for the delay in the show. Trust me, I did everything I possibly could to get it out on time. I just wasn't able to do it. But thank you for tuning in. Much fucking love. I appreciate all the support. I'm Rome Bone of the Beneath the Dirt podcast. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.